Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Not Much Sex, A Bit of Drugs, Some Rock and Roll. And my name is John Peel.
And my name's Laurence Lear.
Good to be back in the studio.
Yeah, it's been a bloody rough day. I've been in the library for 12 hours. Arrived at 9.
It's been rough.
Yeah, it's just too much work. Far too much work. Both you and I have been pretty unenergetic is probably the best word to say, if not borderline suicide.
Yeah, it's only been 7 hours for me, but it feels like so much longer. I've got my trusty friend Red Bull, so
better work.
We're getting there. So show 8 of semester 2.
Probably we won't be having one next week. Quite possibly having one the week after. I'm not entirely sure.
Taking a break for exams and stuff.
Yeah, just too much work. I really hope third year is only on par with this.
Yeah, to be honest, it's got to the stage where I'm looking forward to exams now.
I'm actually looking forward to the exam.
That's the state. That is the state of mind I'm in. It's just.
I usually I wouldn't say enjoy essay writing, but I've always typically preferred doing essays than exams. But Jesus Christ, no way I'm going to stay away from essay writing as long as humanly possible.
Yeah, well,
I won't have much choice in that, but
it'll all be over soon, and then we'll be free.
We've been saying that for like a month, and it still feels like ages.
I know.
A pain in the ass. Anyway, let's kick off the show with Arctic Monkeys, shall we?
Yeah, let's kick off the show with Arctic Monkeys. We are going to play D is for Dangerous. Here we go. And that was D is for Dangerous, kicking off. I was doing so well.
Yeah, usually you fuck up in the first sentence, so I was actually waiting for it.
Kicking off, show number 8.
Usually your stumbles aren't things that suggest you're shitting yourself. But anyway, talking about being stressed and not wanting to do anything. Have you heard about the puppy room in Nova Scotia, Canada?
I have. This is probably one of the best ideas of all time.
Yeah, I heard about it a few days ago, and then you sent me the article earlier today. And I think they should just tour, just go to different unis. Basically, for people who haven't heard, people will just come in with lots of puppies.
Yep.
And there'll be a room somewhere, I'm guessing in the library, and all the stressed out students just go over there and pet puppies until they calm down a bit. I would love that.
So basically, they put you in a room full of puppies, and you can just chill with puppies for however long it is.
One issue, though,
so great,
is what happens when the puppies grow up.
You get more puppies.
I'm sure you can. There's a surplus amount of puppies you can use. I'm talking about the actual puppies that eventually, who's going to own them?
I'm sure people love dogs, right?
Yeah,
there's plenty of people that want to buy dogs.
People love dogs.
I want a dog.
Yes, I've got a dog.
Dogs are great.
But there's loads of puppies that haven't got owners out there. And so I'm worried about these puppies if they haven't got owners already. I guess you could rent your dog out.
Yeah, but even if they're not puppies, I mean, you could just have a room full of dogs. That'd be fun.
Yeah, but I think with puppies, they kind of, I don't know, with grown-up dogs, they're going to be a bit less responsive, I guess.
Yeah,
and they're not as cute.
Yeah, that's true.
I think they should just have a baby animal thing, so you can bring in tiger cubs, lion cubs. I read something earlier that baby kangaroos can fit as soon as they come out.
Yeah,
fit on a tablespoon.
Really?
Yeah, that's how small they are when they come out.
That's unusual.
That's mad. Really, that's small as fuck.
well observed. So Keel, if you're listening, puppies now.
Yeah,
please.
Basically, I that would be part of my manifesto if I was running for the new SU things, which is a reasonably good segue, I thought.
Yeah.
For Keel SU elections happened a few months back.
Yep.
And for some reason they're back, and we don't know why.
We're not entirely sure why.
It's bizarre.
I know the president, Kimmy, she resigned because I don't think it was disclosed why, but she just decided to.
Is
resign.
it only for the SU president?
I'm not
position?
sure. I think they're all open again. But yeah, so we got the general
bizarre.
elections, the KUBE elections, and SU elections as well. So
do you know there are two candidates for the SU position called Poon
Yes,
and
I saw
Tang.
that. Yeah, with the last names Poon
Yeah.
and Tang.
Two separate people, but some
fantastic.
genius around the university decided to put those posters together. I think they should just be co-workers.
They should.
Just hire both of them.
President Poon and Tang. That'd be great.
Minus the and, so it's just Poon Tang. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm suggesting. They'd get my vote no matter what
Definitely.
kind of thing they were suggesting.
Especially if they suggested a puppy room.
Yeah. Basically, you'd win with that. You could suggest some horrible kind of other policies that you'd have, like having a sweatshop or something like that, and they're like, oh, I don't agree with that policy, but you are bringing in puppies. Fair enough.
Puppies.
Exactly. As you mentioned, KUBE elections, which we briefly spoke about last week, we now know who is going for what position, and you are running unopposed.
I am. I'm running unopposed.
Well, again, other than
unopposed for head
Ron.
production. So hopefully I don't get Rond, which would be.
What does Ron stand for again?
That's a good question.
Re-election or something like that. I can't remember.
I
Basically, it means that if you don't like the candidate that is running unopposed, you reopen elections.
nomination.
Yeah, basically, that's the word.
There we go.
I would be sad for you, but I'd also find it so funny if you got
I would be
Rond.
gutted. So please don't Ron me.
You'll get my vote.
That's
If
good.
you make it worth my while, let's just say that. Our good friend Alex Whitworth is not at risk of getting Ron because he has opposition, but
He does. Mr. Aaron Godfrey.
Yeah.
He's also running for station manager.
So that'll be an interesting one. I wonder who will win that.
It'll be a close one, I reckon. But whoever gets it, they'll do a good job. So
they're on the same. The elections are on the same day as the general election.
they are.
So we've got a busy day.
Lots of voting.
Yeah, basically, I've got to find my way to a local polling station, and so do you.
Yep.
And we've got to hand in our imperialism essay.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, thank God that's done.
Yeah, and then we got to do a general election. Not general election, KUBE election.
Busy day.
Yeah, it's just every day is going to be busy.
Yeah.
Too busy. Anyway, sad news for me.
What's that?
The royal baby.
Oh. Okay.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Like at all.
I saw your tweet about it. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. And just people. I don't see why people don't agree with this like meritocratic idea of being in power.
Yeah.
Like supposedly when the baby turns 10 years old, she's going to be worth £1 billion.
Christ.
And she's already got a job.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, of course.
Princess.
Yeah.
Whereas we will have to wait probably 10 years to get one. So that's going to be fun.
Oh, the struggle. The struggle of being a royal.
One benefit for those who are called
Charlotte.
Is it Charlotte?
Yep.
Is that the name of the baby as
Yeah.
well? Okay. Yeah, Pizza Hut offered, is it like the first 100 customers in certain chains like Leeds, Liverpool Street, London,
Liverpool Street, yeah.
Yeah, Liverpool and Manchester, the first 100 customers to like order pizza who were named Charlotte, free pizza?
Get free pizza. So I think I was born the wrong gender and I was born with the wrong name.
You could argue that.
Yeah, because I'd love free Pizza Hut. That'd be great. It's the best thing that's come out of this royal baby stuff.
Yeah, I guess I wish I was dating someone called Charlotte now. You know?
It's just like
Shit happens.
Pizza Hut now.
Yeah, I'm more of a Domino's fan anyway. I've got to keep my allegiances.
Nah. Pizza Hut's better. I prefer the crust. That's just me.
You're a crust man.
I am.
I'm a dough man. Anyway, Top Gear.
Yes.
3 new presenters supposedly.
3 rumoured presenters.
Which is all 3 of them have actually released statements saying they've been contacted. So it basically is, and it's been said it's a dream team.
Yeah, that's what, according to the Daily Telegraph, or the Telegraph even, BBC has chosen dream team, quote unquote, of Top Gear presenters to replace Jeremy Clarkson, including Jodie Kidd, Philip Glenister, and
what's his name?
Guy Martin.
Never heard of Guy Martin before.
No, neither have I. Actually.
Philip Glenister, I've heard of him.
Life on Mars.
Yeah, I haven't actually watched anything he's done.
Great
Jodie
TV show.
Kidd seems like someone that was past, like she was big 10 years ago, so she's somehow come back.
Also, I think she holds one of the fastest lap times in the Star and the Reasonably Priced Car thing. So that's a
it's just
accolade, I suppose.
I don't get the idea of how that's a dream team. You would have thought probably the dream team Top Gear presenters would have been something like Stephen Fry and Steve Coogan and all this stuff.
Stephen Fry would be an interesting Top Gear presenter.
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, it's just I don't think the other three would be considered dream team unless you're talking about their racing prowess, because Guy Martin and Jodie Kidd have done previous car shows. Yeah, and they are both.
Philip Glenister's done one as well. He does a Channel 4 program called For the Love of Cars. That's a great show, actually.
Okay. I was unaware of that. So I guess in talking about like experience and what they're going to talk about, you could argue it's a dream team. But in terms of like big names, I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see if they are confirmed and when Top Gear actually comes back. It'll probably be at least a year or so.
Yeah, at the bottom of the article, they've done odds and supposed other people that have been recommended, like linked with. Yeah. And some of them I would no. Just stop. No.
Jimmy Carr?
I couldn't care less about Jimmy Carr.
Well, John Bishop. John Bishop is good. He's funny. I like John Bishop. I rate him.
I'm not sure whether I could last an hour with the act. I would really prefer not to have Sue Perkins. I'd rather not have Chris Evans. I'd rather definitely not have... He's Room 101, this guy. Johnny Vaughan. I can't stand him. Least funny man I've probably ever had the misfortune to watch on my television.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Who else is it? Chris Moyles, he's up there.
Meh.
No. Other than that, the others all like got racing pedigree. Like there's Dave Coulthard, Eddie Irvine, Tiffany Dale. I actually quite like Tiffany Dale. He'd be quite good. He's been on Top Gear a few times, but I'll watch it because it's interesting. It's a new era, but it's not the end of Clarkson, May, and Hammond.
No, definitely not. They'll go on to do other stuff on the BBC.
Well, they're still doing Top Gear technically. They're doing live shows.
Oh yeah, of course, Top Gear Live.
Which BBC have completely scrapped any link with.
Yeah.
Which seems like they're killing a cash cow for them.
Yeah, you'd think so. But
moving on to tech, I would say. Apple. Never liked Apple. I appreciate the quality of their products are leaps and bounds ahead of the competition in general. Overly expensive, and also they seem like a bit of dickheads just in general. What they're doing with Spotify.
The article that he's on about is Apple could be trying to kill free Spotify service before launching its own music service. So basically, there are disencouraging record labels to sign back on with free Spotify.
Yeah.
To try and sort of just degrade the quality of free Spotify before Apple releases their own streaming service, which seems like a bit of a dick move.
No, it's beyond dick move. I thought that would probably be illegal.
Yeah, I think that they are being looked into.
And they are being looked. Yeah,
they're being looked into
by the European Commission.
That's it.
And fair enough, because that just doesn't seem on.
No.
I don't actually agree with the idea. I appreciate that I've committed getting music for free previously.
Yeah.
I do think that you should pay for stuff like that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because it's a music industry. The people, I think, if you like their music, paying 50p to listen to the song as an infinite amount of times is nothing.
Yeah.
And I pay for Spotify Premium.
Yeah.
And that's definitely worth the money alongside like Netflix.
Absolutely.
You don't really think about, oh no, that's £5 gone a month. You think, for example, yesterday I watched basically an entire series.
Yeah. What did you watch?
Spartacus Blood and Sand.
Is it any good?
I like it. It's a very male thing.
I've heard there's a lot of sex in it.
It's kind of Game of Thrones.
Yeah. But with more sex.
More sex, and it's kind of stylized like 300.
Okay.
But it's basically porn.
So it's 300 with sex.
Yeah, basically.
Right, okay.
Interesting and sad fact, actually. The actor who originally played Spartacus in it, he only lasted 2 series because
didn't he die halfway through?
Yeah, he got non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Yeah.
And he died the same age as Spartacus supposedly died, which is quite eerie.
Conspiracy man.
Yeah, Illuminati confirmed, I say. Anyway, shall we play some music?
Yes, we are going to play some music. We are going to play Plain Sailing Weather by Frank Turner and Handsome by The Vaccines from their new album, which is coming out, I think it's next month. It's reasonably soon.
Just keep an eye out.
So kicking it off, we're going to have Plain Sailing Weather by Frank Turner. And that was Plain Sailing Weather by Frank Turner and Handsome by The Vaccines.
Quite like the last one. I haven't heard much of the new vaccine stuff.
Yeah, it's good. It's promising because I wasn't, as we discussed last week, I wasn't really a massive fan of their last album, Come of Age.
No,
but it sounds good.
Yeah,
and they're playing Tea in the Park this year, as well as some, I think, Glastonbury as well.
Are they not playing Reading?
No, I don't think they're at Reading, but I think they are at Glastonbury. So it will be good.
Have you seen them live?
No, I haven't. No. I would like to see them live, actually.
Yeah, they're decent, good quality. As referring to earlier, watching Spartacus, my mates that I watched it with yesterday want me to refer to one of the characters called Segavax, or colloquially known in the show as Horsecock. There you go, guys. My parents listen to this.
Do you want to explain what?
No, I don't. No, I really don't.
He has a big dick.
He does, yes.
Moving on from that.
Yeah, moving on. You watched the Avengers.
I do watch the Avengers. I did watch the Avengers. Yes.
Two pieces of news that come out recently. It didn't break the record.
It didn't break the UK record.
Yeah.
For opening weekend, but
it still did pretty bloody well. $191 million.
In the United States, it came second to the first Avengers. Made $191.3 million in its opening weekend in the US. That's a lot of money.
That is a lot. It's quite You'd be quite disappointed if you didn't beat the original one.
Yeah, it was quite a big gap actually, because it was the Avengers, the first one, in its opening weekend made 207.4 million.
Yeah.
So that's mass.
That's a lot.
That's it's just under 20 million difference.
Yeah.
And
they projected it to get 210 to 230 $1 million. So they actually underperformed by
quite a bit,
a decent amount.
Still,
but
lots of money.
The worldwide gross of the original Avengers film was 1.5 billion.
Yeah, and it's been out for 3 years now.
Yeah,
so
and
not bad.
This one's been out for how long has it been?
Well, it came out. Well, it was released on the what is it? Release date of 5th. What's that?
No, it's an American day.
First of
4 days ago.
1st of May. 4 days ago, it's made 626 million so far.
So it's probably going to get close to that. You'd hope.
Interestingly, Iron Man 3 was second, but third even. That film was fucking terrible.
I haven't seen. I don't think I've watched much of it.
No, it's awful. The first Iron Man's the only good one, and then the other two are dog. So I wouldn't watch them.
Fair enough.
Iron Man 3, everybody.
We were talking about it briefly last week, how Scarlett Johansson and Mark Ruffalo's characters, Hulk and what's her name? The Widow, Black Widow.
Black Widow. Yeah.
Her character has been criticised for being misogynistic and like stereotypically ditzy, like damsel in distress kind of thing. And so the director has been critiqued to such a large extent on Twitter by people for how he's portrayed the character. He's actually removed his Twitter account.
Yeah, Mr. Joss Whedon has decided to quit Twitter on following criticism of not only her portrayal but just the film in general. Like, apparently got blasted on Twitter, even though it's done pretty well reviews, and obviously it's made a lot of money as well.
Yeah.
So,
was the character that bad?
I didn't think so, to be honest. I didn't really notice. Quite a lot of people seem to be quitting Twitter recently. I mean, Simon Pegg did it last year. Yeah, he's not on Twitter anymore.
Why did he quit?
I think it's just the internet and people.
Yeah, it's just like anything now gets critiqued to such a large extent.
Just fed up with it. So it's not unusual.
The thing is, like, anybody's actions are going to have people that praise it to such a large extent, but the people that praise it always less heard than the people that critique it.
It's true. Negativity definitely is more noticeable.
And the only kind of
positivity.
people that like and will keep Twitter accounts due to negativity are like parasitic worms like
Katie
Katie
Hopkins.
Yes, who was asked to be killed
by a teenager.
Yeah, Nick Clegg visited the school, and this 14-year-old kid requested that she get arrested, and if it's not too much to ask, killed. I think that would be a light punishment.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought it was amusing, and then I actually watched the video, and he seemed like a little ratty 14-year-old, just like...
So most 14-year-olds.
Yeah, but it was just like when he came over and like the news reporter came over and like, oh, what did you say to Nick Clegg? He was just like, he found himself so funny that I'm like, I'm a bit less impressed by
banter.
it. Yeah, so
quality banter from the 14-year-old.
Yeah, but
I
I've probably been the same.
Can't stand Katie Hopkins. She is terrible. But I suppose that's kind of the only reason that she's famous is because she's just a complete cunt.
I get the idea that she doesn't even believe a lot of the stuff she says.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Recently, the more like, outrageous things she says, she's been a bit less argumentative about what she's been when she's challenged.
Yeah.
To the point where she's like, I can't even argue my view because it's just absolute crap.
Yeah.
We've put her in room 101.
Yep. She's definitely firmly in room 101.
I'm in a weird position. Russell Brand this week's kind of perplexed me.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
I watched the interview.
Yeah.
With Ed Miliband, and when I first saw the little clips before the big clip came out, and I was just like, oh, this is a publicity stunt. Either Labour have like bought him off, and all this stuff, or Russell Brand's got a hidden agenda behind it. The interview itself was a bit more justifiable. Like there's a point when he's going through all the parties and why each one is wrong and all this stuff, and he makes some valid points, but just how suddenly he changed from don't vote for anyone to specifically vote Labour.
How convenient.
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded if he went don't vote for anyone to vote for who you believe in, but now he's going vote for Labour, and there'll be so many people now that just vote for Labour just because he's telling him to.
Yeah, Russell Brand.
Which in a way could be seen as worse than him telling people not to vote. Yeah,
I suppose.
It depends on your attitude to it. Like, I might vote Labour, so I guess like in that sense that I should be glad about it, but it's more the principle about it than anything else. Shall we play some music?
Russell Brand. Oh yeah, can't stand him.
Wait, no. Before we play some music, let's do a segue into the music.
Okay.
Woodstoke,
yes.
I just remembered that. It was on, what night was it? It was
Friday.
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 They actually did a little thing like every 15 minutes they'd release the next artist that's coming on to play at Woodstoke. There's going to be 5 artists, I believe.
Yep.
One artist that seemed to be very well received in a more like jokey manner, like hark back to when you're in like year 10, year 9 kind of thing.
Who could this be?
The Hoosiers.
Yeah, I was surprised.
I thought they had gone.
Yeah, apparently they released an album last year. But the fact that we haven't heard about it is just telling, really.
Yeah.
So yeah,
they must be cheap. They must be really cheap to book.
Probably a good thing.
And before we came on the show, I might do a little segment next time we do a show, like 5 bands, or like play some music of bands that people probably forgot or go, oh god, I can't. Why aren't they around anymore? The Feeling.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
That's a good point.
The Feeling, man. They're like
what happened to them?
I know they were quite big. I think it's just like one of those things where the first album was a lot more successful and probably was good for them.
Yeah.
In the sense that anything else is just not going to live up to like the commercial side of it.
That's true.
And so they've all just kind of disappeared.
Yeah. So for Woodstoke, the 3 main headliners are the Hoosiers, Sigma, and Peace.
Yeah, and someone else called Melissa Steele. Never heard of her. Peace. I'm not a massive fan of the latest album, and they did come last year.
Well, they were meant to come in last year, weren't they? But then they cancelled.
Did they cancel?
Yeah, they went to the Sugar Mill instead, I believe, because might not have sold enough tickets or something.
It's probably like that. Like, it was a really awkward time I think it was like exam period. I remember having an exam the next morning, so I didn't buy a ticket.
Was it January?
No,
it wasn't
May.
January.
It was May 28th, and I had an exam May 29th.
To be exact.
Yeah, to be exact. And I didn't buy a ticket. And obviously they thought, Laurence is going to be there, so let's just move on.
Yeah, I mean,
the best. Why wouldn't you?
What's the point at that point?
Sigma are apparently big.
Yeah,
they seem like a band that you probably hear loads at the SU, and I'm like, I didn't know that. So I think that's on a playlist.
Yeah,
so.
you'll recognise the song when we play it if you haven't, because I didn't attribute. It's one of those bands where you don't attribute the band to the song. You just hear it, and it's like
it's too many artists like that on nights out.
Yeah.
Where when you're drunk as hell, you're like, this song's catchy, but when you're sober, you're like, oh god, I hate this song so much. A key example of that, Timber by Kesha.
Oh my god, yeah.
I hate that song in real life, but every night out, I'm like, Timber.
In real life.
Yeah, I kind of need to like drink myself to ethereality there to be in any way amused or interested in that song. Anyway, so shall we play 3 songs then?
We are going to play Worried About Ray by the Hoosiers, Higher by Sigma, and Bloodshake by Peace. Bloodshake? Yeah, Bloodshake.
Yep.
Okay, I don't know why I second guessed myself there. So we're going to kick it off with the Hoosiers playing Woodstoke this year. And that was Worried About Ray by the Hoosiers, Higher by Sigma and Labyrinth, and Bloodshake by Peace, all playing Woodstoke Festival 2015. Get your tickets now.
I might not, because the prices are absolutely astronomical.
£32 for 12
early bird
hours.
tickets, that is.
Oh yeah, that's
which
true.
had sold out, so not £32.
Was it £35? £35.
I remember on Friday they were like, "Oh, do you want to buy an early bird ticket? There's only 6 left." And I was like, "Oh, so how much cheaper is it? £32?" And I was like, "Yeah, you're right, mate." Just, nah.
If I get it off work, I'll definitely go.
Yeah, but you get the 50% off.
That's true, £16 instead of 32. Bar's massive. God, I love it. That's one of the few benefits of serving drunk students all night.
Does that counteract the many late clambering back to Hasselbridge at 4 a.m. in the morning?
Well, I mean, we get the staff safety bus at the end of the night, so I don't have to walk or get a taxi, which is good. But we were open till 7 a.m. for the boxing on Saturday, and I nearly died. I got home and it was light. It wasn't fun.
Yeah,
so I slept until like I think it was 4 or 5 o'clock on Sunday. So my body clock is completely ruined now.
Yeah.
But and the fight wasn't very good either.
Did you actually get to watch it?
Yeah, because most people have stopped ordering drinks by that point because they were either too drunk or just wanted to watch the boxing.
Yeah.
So
I was going to wake up early to watch it, but I'm glad I didn't because
pretty boring fight, to be honest.
But Pacquiao's in trouble now.
Is he?
Yeah, he hid a shoulder injury, which he meant to declare. Which seems a bit stupid because that was basically immediately after the fight he started excusing himself for losing because of it. And I'm like, I'd rather just say I lost and not be in trouble with the boxing governing body than doing what he's done now. So, well done Pacquiao for that.
Yeah, that's boxing. Not interested in the slightest.
Well, did you actually see that there was an interview straight after with Pacquiao by the ring interviewer? Yeah. And he's been torn to shreds. I think he's been reprimanded quite a lot by I think it might be Fox, because basically he went, "Oh, so what did you think of the fight?" And Pacquiao said, "I actually thought I won." He was just like, "How can you think you won?" and all this stuff. Like, when you're an interviewer, you're meant to be a bit impartial. Yeah. But he was just basically listing reasons why Pacquiao can't even think he himself would have won, which was highly unprofessional. Yeah, it was very close, to be fair. There was only a few points in it, but boxing. Not particularly interested, but there you go. You linked me an article earlier, which is absolutely atrocious. Probably one of the weirdest and just outrageous news stories I've seen in a while. It does make you appreciate being in Britain. It does. Iran have brought out new laws preventing people from having styled spiky hair and tattoos. Yep. Because they resemble devil worshipping. Yeah. Iran bans evil spiky hair, quote unquote, because of links to the devil.
What?
Obviously, people should be allowed to style their hair as they should, please.
Yeah.
However, the men in the article who are shown as examples of spiky hair in Iran don't have that hair. Like,
yeah, it's not
awful hair.
It's not a good look,
absolutely
but
atrocious.
still, it's ridiculous that the government is dictating that you can't have a certain hairstyle and that you can't have tattoos either. It's ridiculous.
It's the same as like North Korea. There's only like a set amount of haircuts you're allowed. I think it's like 20 haircuts.
It's the Kim Jong-un or you're put to death.
Basically, yeah. I posed to you before we went into the studio.
Mm-hmm.
We saw somebody with dreadlocks.
God.
Neil Shan will know. And I said, would you ever have dreads? And you were like, nah. I was like, oh, come on, just try it. You're at uni and all this stuff.
No,
would you rather have the spiky hair?
I would much rather have spiky, what looks like 12-year-old sort of primary school disco hair.
2002 hair,
than dreadlocks, because dreadlocks are filthy. Just throwing it out there.
It would be so funny to see you in dreadlocks.
No, it's not. It's never happening. Unless you fork out a significant amount of money.
What about £10 in the fish and chips?
No.
Oh, that's all I'm offering. I said maybe next year because we haven't got that many shows left. I watched a YouTube channel and they do these kind of fact wars things. So two people, they each have 5 facts, and whoever gets like voted on YouTube has them the best facts of the week. Gets to choose what the other person does as a challenge. And this time it was a cinnamon challenge and eating a certain amount of what are they called? Crackers. In a minute without water. So if we started doing that next year, I'm going to say grow dreads.
No.
And you can, but think you can do something similar on par with me. But it has to be original. You can't say I have to grow dreads.
Have you ever done the cinnamon challenge?
No. I've actually been intrigued.
Don't do it. It's horrible. I've done it before and it is just disgusting. I was sick afterwards. It was
I actually
vomited afterwards because it's for those anybody who doesn't know what the cinnamon challenge is. It's basically you get a tablespoon of cinnamon, you eat it, and it's horrible. It's probably just don't. It makes for a funny video. Yeah. So possibly.
So next year or maybe our last episode, we can do something of a similar kind of idea, and then you can watch one of us throwing up in a studio which does not contain a bin.
Yeah.
So we'd have to go over to the balcony, which makes filming a bit odd. So or if the 2 listeners we probably have at the moment have an interesting idea of a challenge we could do, please say to us whenever we're around.
We are open to suggestions as long as it's not life-threatening or just outright disgusting. There's no way I'm eating shit or something.
Or getting naked.
Oh no, nobody wants that.
I don't know.
Nobody wants that.
I'm sure there's going to be some galdem around that one. So Iranians can't have spiky hair or tattoos, but in the news as well, the iWatch has had a bug, which I'm surprised they hadn't discovered before they released it in America. People who have tattoos under the iWatch, where it would be placed on their wrist, it fucks up the iWatch. Yeah,
basically, when you take the iWatch off your wrist, it automatically requires like a PIN sort of security. It's kind of the same thing you've got on your phone, where you just have to enter your password. But people with darker tattoos causing problem with the light sensor. So when you take it off, then it knows that it's been taken off, so it activates the thing. So it's still doing that even when it's on your wrist, which is obviously a pretty major design flaw.
Yeah, it's not the first time there's been 2 other examples I can think of on the top of my head where Apple have released a product and hadn't realised this massive issue.
Yeah.
The other one was the ones that bend.
Oh, the iPhone 6s that bend in people's pockets.
And there was the other one where you can't hold your phone in a certain way. Like, I think if you're left-handed, it like keeps turning off your phone because of the dark sensor.
Because of the buttons on the side.
Yeah,
because the lock buttons on, or at least on the 5C.
Yeah, I think they fixed it.
It's on the top.
Yeah, and so Apple don't actually go through that extensive checks before. You would have thought they'd just let all their Apple employees that design it have, and you'd have thought maybe there was going to be some person with a tattoo on their wrist at Apple, who would have discovered it. Somebody who might have accidentally sat on their thing before it curved, and somebody who was left-handed. So maybe Apple are prejudiced against tattooed
left-handed people, basically.
Yeah, basically.
It's kind of a difficult issue to fix, though, because obviously, like, there's no real way of getting around that. Like, but
unless they just improve the technology.
I suppose that's why you never buy a first-generation Apple product.
No.
You always wait to the second one where they've fixed it. Because, for example, the first iPhone was a piece of shit.
It was awful.
But obviously much better than everything else that was out at the time. But
I just hope the iWatch doesn't become the main thing, because I think it's stupid.
Yeah,
I just don't like that. They don't look stylish at all, for one. And
especially for the money as well. Christ.
Yeah, God, don't know the money. I don't even think it will be possible to make a stylish smart watch in a way. It's just stylish watches are usually ones that are quite traditional, just hands.
Yeah,
that's how it should be.
Yeah, nah. I mean, they're just a waste of money if you ask me. But there we go.
Everybody has their own opinions on it, and the people that like iWatches are wrong.
Apple Watch, buy it now from the Apple Store. Or not.
Shall we play some music? Because
yes.
we have quite a lot of music to get through, because we have more sections than we have typically. Can I request Lovers by Brotherfinger and then Grow Old With Me by Blackbird?
Yes, you can. We are going to play Lovers by Brotherfinger.
Brother Tiger, rather. I got that wrong.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks different on the playlist.
Yeah.
Brother Tiger, Lovers, and Grow Old With Me by, that was the other one, wasn't it?
Yeah,
good. There we go. Lovers by Brother Tiger. And that was Lovers by Brother Tiger and Grow Old With Me by Blackbird. Some very chilled out tunes there.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, well, that's why it's called chill wave genre. Anyway.
That would explain it.
Yeah. It's basically just kind of music that you just relax to, with inverted commas.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah, it's really easy music to work with if you're just like discovering new music, because it kind of just fades into the backgrounds of your mind and you can still read and all this stuff.
Yeah.
The only problem is, like, when you're trying to discover the new music, you'll be like, oh, like 4 songs have passed and I haven't noticed any of them. But, you know. Yeah. You take the good with the bad when that stuff happens. Have you heard about the Pope this week?
What about him? Is he dead?
No. I think you would have definitely heard about that. I can't remember why. I'll have to find out. But the Pope Francis he decided to ring this man because he had a pretty bad illness. And the guy that with the illness kept thinking it was a hoax call and hung up on the Pope not once, but when the Pope tried to ring him again, he hung up again. Which is
That's amazing.
Pretty hilarious, if I'm honest. Like, I wouldn't hang up. I was like, even if it was a hoax call, I'd just play along and see how it goes until I got bored. Like, trying to think of someone that I just wouldn't believe would be calling me for any reason. Like, if Barack Obama started just ringing me, I'd be like, all right, Barack Obama, just like humour him for a bit, see what I say.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't think I'd take that seriously if the Pope did ring me. I'm not sure why he would.
No, just don't get an illness.
Yeah, I'll try not to. I'll try and avoid that. Yeah, it's just a weird news story.
Yeah, it is bizarre. I was on Strange News and Sky News. Same little section on the website, something that's quite disturbing, quite cool, the video, and like the technology is groundbreaking.
Yeah.
But it's scary at the same time. Bullets for sniper rifles can have trackers on now, and so moving targets hit it more or less 100. I think the success rate was in 98 point something %. It adjusts its trajectory according to wind and like altitude and all this stuff. So literally
guided bullets, basically.
Yeah, basically. And
Christ.
And so each bullet has a little computer inside, and you mark the target that is expected to move with your scope.
Yeah.
and they used a proper elite sniper to shoot with it and got 5 out of 5. And someone that's never shot a sniper rifle before. I'm not sure what their previous history with rifles in general were, but he also got 5 out of 5.
That's really scary.
Yeah,
I don't like the idea of bullets that will just it's
like drones. It's just like warfare now has become such a warfare in general is not a good thing, but it's more justified when, in a weird way, when actual humans are doing it. Now it's just like the US are so far advanced ahead of all the other nations that they're actually fighting against. It's more or less just massacre.
The machines are rising. Skynet is here.
Yeah, and they're planning on moving all the bullets to other guns as well. So potentially pistols can have the same kind of thing. It's just
I don't want that.
Really, really, really fucked up.
It's cool technology, but as you said, it's scary as fuck. Like, nah.
It also make gaming very boring. If they like COD decided to have that weapon, you'll be like, oh, where's the fun in this now? Like,
where's the fun in COD?
Potentially 20 years time, there won't be any like actual soldiers going man-to-man combat. They'll be like in a hut with computers, and that's all it's going to be. So I don't know, just warfare.
It's not going to be great.
Why can't we all just live in peace?
War, what is it good for?
No, it's not good for anything.
Absolutely nothing.
Well, I read something earlier today about how if everybody lived in the population density of New York in the world, everybody would be able to live in Texas in the world comfortably.
Christ.
And so I'm just thinking, if we all could just be okay with living with each other and not having any issues about who's right about which god and all this stuff and all this stupid things that are really unnecessary, we actually wouldn't have any issues with people. We farm all this spare land and all this stuff, but it's never going to happen. We really won't, because we're idiots.
Going to New York over the summer.
Are you?
Yeah, it's going to be good.
It's expensive.
First time I've been to the States, so it should be interesting.
You're not going to be able to buy a pint when
I'm
you
not
get
going to be
back.
able to buy a pint because I'm not going to be 21 until September. So
that, and also you won't be able to buy a pint when you get back because you have no money.
That as well, because I would have spent it all in America because our flights.
And you also probably will be like 20 stone.
I don't think that's going to happen somehow.
Nah,
I probably would just die, just fall over.
I'd rather you gain 20 stone than die, John.
Yeah,
even if we had to cart you in a wheelchair.
I think the chance of me gaining 20 stones is less than the plane crashing or
probably
something. So
I don't know, their food though.
The flights are so expensive though. That's the most expensive part of going to the States. Is
I'm guessing like 800.
Yeah, something like that.
Like Australia, it's like 1,100 return, whereas Amsterdam can be less than 100.
Hopefully going to Amsterdam by the end of the year as well.
October time possibly.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Never been there either.
Fuck lectures. That's what I say.
Third year, fuck lectures.
Yeah, to be honest though, it's like the week after the Freshers event, so it's not exactly like we're going to miss anything.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
And we're not going to really care when we're over there.
Thug life.
Unmanned Russian cargo spacecraft is falling to Earth. Did you read about that?
The Russians fucked up. Yeah, I did read that. That was
unrelated. Apparently there was alien sounds 20 miles off the surface of the Earth recorded today.
Really?
So we are being watched.
Alien sounds?
Yeah, apparently sounds that have never been recorded before by our satellites and all this shit. Completely alien sounds, nothing like it before. So something bizarre is afoot. So people might get probed.
Yeah, so going back to the Russian story, moving away from probing,
that's like the theme of a show.
So basically, it was a cargo spacecraft that was going to docked with the international, or was going to dock with the International Space Station, but then I'm not sure what fucked up, but it's now plummeting to Earth.
It will land in the ocean.
Yeah, and it will also disintegrate on re-entry. There's not going to be any risk of anybody being hit in the face with spacecraft.
I thought it was going to be more expensive damage than it is. Well, it's still $32 million pounds.
32
I would
million
have thought
pounds
things like that technology was still a bit more expensive. Like 32 million in government terms is
nothing.
So it's not exactly like the worst problem in the world.
Yeah, so it was transporting 2.5 tons of food, water, fuels, and other supplies, even for the International Space Station. It's now falling to Earth 16,000 miles per hour. Pretty damn fast. So
if you're on a boat and you happen just to be like near the area where it crashes in, you're not going to be happy.
Yeah, it's predicted to sort of crash land in the Pacific Ocean, so nobody's at risk of being hit by whatever is left when it.
We'll probably just join that massive piece of rubbish that's circulating around.
Oh, the space garbage.
Yeah,
that's
space garbage.
Orbiting around Earth. Yeah.
You know.
Fun times.
Yeah.
Nice one, Russians.
Yeah. Screwed up again. First communism. This. It's around the time we start playing our cheesy music. My brother requested a song.
He did.
Which has a dance to, which I remember only discovering the dance to it the other this year, actually, this academic year, and I was just like, this is just bizarre. Wigfield Saturday Night for my brother.
Yep. Thank you for listening, Sam. Here we go. Wigfield Saturday Night for Sam. And that was Life is a Roller Coaster by Ronan Keating, In Your Eyes by Kylie Minogue, Saturday Night by Wigfield, and Tonight by Theme Park for Mr. Jack Hughes.
I think that's the first time we've ever done four songs
in a row without
I think we're just getting
up.
lazy now. Just need a little break outside, got to do the normal shit. We're coming up with a Room 101, but we read this article earlier about the second time now this year that an Aldi in Berlin have been ordering produce such as like fruit from Colombia, but they've actually had something like £10 million worth of cocaine delivered to them.
Yeah, so basically an Aldi in Germany, Berlin, Germany.
Thanks for that. Geography degrees working there.
Man, all that colouring. What can I say? Basically, they got, instead of boxes of bananas, they got £11 million worth of, not bananas, cocaine, delivered to 13 stores.
Yeah, is it like the first time it was something like £5 million worth of heroin, and the police in Berlin just see it as an accident again. Like, it seems a bit strange now that this is happening like twice in a year.
Yeah, it's bloody weird.
And all that lovely drugs being burned. No, I'm joking.
Don't do drugs, kids. They're bad for you.
They're really bad for you.
Pugs, not drugs.
Basically, yes. Moving on, we do Room 101. And speaking of things that annoy us about things coming in packages that aren't as good as they...
Aren't quite what they seem.
We both bought some crisps earlier. Sounds like an interesting conversation already. And that's annoying. And have you ever noticed how you're getting about half amount of crisps in the crisp packet as usual?
Fucking Walkers. Every time it's... You pay for crisps. Half of it's air. Where are the rest of the crisps? I assume they're trying to save money.
Yeah, of course.
And they're just being lazy bastards. But every fucking time you buy crisps, it's always like they're always half full.
Yeah, basically.
What is it? I want the full packet of crisps.
They just pack it full of air now. But there's loads of like things like new products coming out by companies that are going like the big one that there was like a big controversy about it like a few months ago about compressed deodorant cans.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it has the same amount of deodorant as normal ones because we compressed it in with our new scientific technology.
Scientific compression technology
I think
thing.
There's a video where this person's literally just holding the can as long as humanly possible in each hand. Yeah. And the compressed can, not only did it, because they're about half the size, not only did it not last half the amount of time, it lasted about a third of the amount of time. So you're getting scammed out of your money, and there's loads of other examples of that kind of stuff going on with it.
Deodorant's expensive as well.
And it's like, not only are Tesco down like 16 billion in a year.
Yeah, Tesco's aren't doing so well.
Tesco, Sainsbury's and Morrison's are getting fucked over because the deals they are doing aren't genuine deals. So like the supermarket governing body are investigating them, and they could be paying a big fine. I think they've managed to dupe every year on average on like 500 million extra pounds out to the customers.
Ouch.
For the stuff that they claim are deals when they're actually not. So
Get your shit together, supermarkets.
it's
Christ.
like select to save at Keel SU, man. That's
Select and scam.
Yes,
Definitely.
scam. Emphasis on the word scam. Like the prices for that stuff are just astronomical.
It's why you go to the deal section and then you walk out the door.
Yeah,
after
basically.
paying, obviously.
Well, the problem is like because we routinely come into uni, spend hours on end in the library, and then only buy really food and eat at uni. I think I'm averaging about £10 a day buying stuff. Yeah,
£10 a day.
well, I come in at like 9 and I leave around 6. So I need to eat something when I come in, eat something at lunch, and then probably I'll buy something before I leave. And because it's so expensive, it's just like that is actually the cheapest I can get. It's just something needs to be done. We've only got half an hour, and we got a few requests that need to be done, and a few sections. So we're just going to basically, our last half an hour is going to be just packed full of music. So you're not going to get bored by us trying to be interesting. Keyword on trying. My mate, who's just tuned in, I think for the first time, Andrew Greatorex, coming all the way from Seattle.
Thank you for tuning in.
He's just requested, so get your hands on that MacBook and play OX4 by Ride, and then can you play Palmer Violet's English Tongue?
I can indeed. We are going to kick that off with OX4 by Ride. Here we go. And that was OX4 by Ride and English Tongue by Palmer Violets for Andrew in Seattle.
And George Watson from Bristol. Both of them I went to school with. So cheers for the requests. And
Thank you for listening.
Yeah. We are now going to... Actually, just before we go, my mate didn't believe that you're called John Peel.
Yeah, true story. That is my name. Just not the other DJ who's dead.
Yeah, basically. Although you'll be bigger. So
well, yeah, I mean, naturally.
Yeah.
I'm going to have my own stage at Glastonbury at some point.
Yeah, at some point. Or no, you'll probably just take over from John Peel's stage and just remove the H.
Yeah.
And that'll be how it's worked. Anyway, we're going to take you back to the 90s now, where David Beckham and Michael Jordan were back in their prime.
Back when Friends and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air were on the TV.
And back when club music was actually good. This is Roger Sanchez with Another Chance.
And that was Another Chance by Roger Sanchez. Blast back from the 90s there.
Yeah, can't argue with that tune. Listen, just such a good song.
Haven't heard it in bloody ages.
Yeah, well, I just got a playlist full of those kind of things now, so I just bang them out. I feel it's a bit wrong to go, I remember those days when we weren't really
back
of
in my
age.
day when I was 4.
Yeah, basically. That is it, but it's still good music, and that's what I've always wanted, just to go back to a 90s club and just have that kind of music going on. But we haven't got much else to talk about, so we're just going to play 3 more songs.
We've got 15 minutes left, so we're going to cram as much music in as possible before we finish.
Yeah. So do you want to play your song or my song first?
I'll play my song first. We are going to play Tompkins Square Park by Mumford & Sons from their new album Wilder Mind, which came out on the 1st, so 4 days ago. Excited to see them at Reading.
And then we'll play Hot Chip, I Feel Better after that.
So here we go. And that was Tompkins Square Park by Mumford & Sons from their new album Wilder Mind and I Feel Better by Hot Chip.
Alright, well, thank you for listening. We'll be back, not next week, but possibly the week after that on our last show. Yeah, it's been a decent show, a lot better than I thought it'd be because I was so tired.
It's been good. The power of Red Bull has got me through.
Yeah. It's not a placebo effect. Anyway, as per usual, we're going to play Arctic Monkeys. And which song have you chosen this week, John?
To end show number 8, we are going to play I Wanna Be Yours for the Arctic Monkeys. Thank you very much for listening. And if you're watching a Face for the Radio, thank you for watching. And we will see you in a couple of weeks' time. We will post up on Facebook when we are coming back. So then, signing off, we have I Wanna Be Yours by the Arctic Monkeys. See you in a bit.